How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the long overdue discussion for the Nintendo Direct Mini that happened a month plus ago. My name is TheJamesRolls,
My name's Lady Gary to you,
and nobody else,
and
because Pancake is not here.
I was just about to say you could insert a clip of Pancake Arman doing his intro right here, but literally right before we started recording this, you were all like, "Oh, I'm not going to do much editing in this video."
No, I'm not going to do the editing with the questions and then the timestamp stuff. That trend only lasted 2 videos. That's so 2017.
All right, so what's the topic for today's discussion, Mr. James Rose man thing?
I literally said we're discussing the Nintendo Direct Mini.
Okay. Before we get into that first question, we're just going to say that we did have plans for Pank Arman to be here, but for reasons outside of any of our control, he can't be here. So instead, he sent us the replies for the questions we are going to be asking. So I'm going to be reading them in the most manliest voice possible.
And by manliest, you're probably going to do a high, squeaky, girly voice, aren't you? Alright, fire away, question man.
Okay. First question, what are your thoughts on Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition?
The fact that it's everything, as far as we know, at least like all the characters and maps and stuff, is pretty cool, because I believe it was only on 3DS. I don't think they brought any of the 3DS stuff to the Wii U version after the fact. So, yeah, it's good that we're getting a complete edition on the Switch. And obviously, part of if you've watched the Direct by now, you know that there's another port coming to the Switch from the Wii U that was announced during this Direct. So it's really good that the Wii U, which didn't sell a lot of games, or consoles in fact, for most titles, it's good that a lot of these games are coming to the Switch, because right now the Switch is a very hot commodity to have, so the bigger audience a game could get, the better. So it's really good that we're going to have not only Hyrule Warriors on the Switch, but it's going to be everything that was in the 3DS, which was pretty god-awful in terms of frames per second. So, yeah, it's good that Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is happening, and I'll actually probably pick it up this time. So, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully the frame rate will be consistent. I haven't heard much about Hyrule Warriors having any frame rate issues, so hopefully Hyrule Warriors won't have any when it comes out. So, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too, because there was a lot of great content on the 3DS version that I unfortunately never really got a chance to play, because when I did try to play it, the frame rate just made it so unplayable, and I'm not one for visuals, but the graphics being such a huge downscale from the Wii U version also made it kind of hard to play as well. It was really a shame too, because they had maps in that version based off Link's Awakening and Link Between Worlds and things like that, and they also had 2 additional side stories that were only on the 3DS version. So I'm really excited that I'll finally be able to play through those campaigns. And I'm also really glad that they're bringing over everything from the Wii U and 3DS version, because also on the 3DS version, they also had a My Fairy feature, which could help out your character. And I think the feature of changing characters in the middle of battle will also return as well. So that's going to be very helpful for some of those brutal adventure mode maps. And I think Ganon's Fury was also confirmed to return, which was something that was a Wii U exclusive. And I'm also very excited for the Breath of the Wild character skins, because that's going to be so awesome. And I love Breath of the Wild. That game's perfect. I just hope they have a DLC thing for later down the line for this version, because I'd also really love to be able to play as Breath of the Wild character as like Gorbosa or something like that, because we never got like a Gerudo character in any of the other versions of the game.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I do think they're going to do more DLC, at least hopefully they will. Because, yeah, like, all of the champions would be cool if they added into Hyrule Warriors, so... And by the way, for those that may notice, I just noticed that Later Gator Use audio was a little bit quieter than mine, so I just bumped it up in OBS. I didn't realize that before recording, so it's fixed now. Yay, live editing!
Is this better?
That doesn't mean you.
Hi,
That
can you
doesn't mean
hear
you
me?
get. No, that doesn't mean you get to yell.
Okay, moving on. And here was Pancake Garment's response for Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition.
Why? Why is this game getting another port? This is like the third port of this game. I would have minded so much if Fire Emblem Warriors wasn't already out. I feel like this game will steal Fire Emblem Warriors' thunder.
He does have a really good point. This is the third version of Hyrule Warriors we're getting.
Yes, it's very true, and he's definitely going to hate you when he watches this video. Just
I'm
pointing
so
that
sorry,
out.
Pancake.
He's going to hate you so much, but yeah, it is the third version, but as long as it's the last one, as long as whatever home console or next handheld console Nintendo comes up with doesn't have another port of Hyrule Warriors, I think everything will be okay.
Yep. Alright, moving on. Next question. You mentioned this briefly a moment ago, but you didn't say the name of the game. What do you think of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze getting a Switch port?
I'm all for it, because as long as... Well, I'm all for it as long as we still get another Donkey Kong, because so far, there hasn't been any news of like a Mario Kart 9 on the Switch, which a lot of people thought we'd get instead of a port of Mario Kart 8. So as long as this doesn't affect a potential Donkey Kong game on the Switch, like, that's not a port, I'm all for it. But still, they did add a lot of new content to the game, mainly, of course, the brand new character, new funky mode, Funky Kong, which is pretty much a combination of every single character except for Donkey Kong. So he's Diddy, he's Dixie, and he's Cranky all in one, which I guess is fine, and, like, I guess funky mode is more so like an easy mode, although you could say the same thing for Cranky, since Cranky's unaffected by, like, spikes and stuff, but yeah, it's cool. I got it on the Wii U when it became a Nintendo Select title, so kind of sucks that I'm probably gonna have to spend full price for it on the Switch, but maybe it'll be worth it since, you know, the Switch can go anywhere and everywhere, so maybe it'll be worth it? I don't know. It's kind of hard, especially considering, like you said, in Pancake's answer for Hyrule Warriors, that was the third version of Hyrule Warriors, and there are a lot of people that double, triple, and, like, if you take Skyrim, for example, Skyrim's been on, like, every single platform, and there are fans of that series that dip in every single version there is, and there's like, what, 9 or 10 versions of the game, and it's like, what, $40 or more? So it's like, there's dedicated people that will gladly keep shelling out money as long as a game appears on, you know, a new console, so, hopefully it'll be worth it. I might not pick it up right away, I might wait to see if it goes on sale at some point, maybe in like a year or so, but still, the Wii U didn't really sell well, like I said, with Hyrule Warriors, so having Tropical Freeze, which is a very good game, don't get me wrong, a very good game on the Switch is good, but I'm really hoping that there's a third Donkey Kong Country Returns game, because, you know, that'd be great. Get on it, Retro Studios.
Yep. I have 2 comments to make about your Skyrim pointing out.
Oh, here we go.
That's very poor way of wording that. First of all, are you certain that's Skyrim and not Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Yeah, go.
And you mentioned it was $40. I don't know about the eShop version, but retail versions of the Switch version of Skyrim are $60.
Oh, I
yeah.
think it's probably the same for both, because honestly, it's really the same for most retail and download games, so $60 like 8 or 9 times. Jeez, those Skyrim fans, man.
And I'm one of them now. I've been corrupted. Okie dokie. So Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was actually one of the very last major Wii U games that I got before the Switch came out. So I got pretty far into that game, but I never beat it, and I really wanted to. I just never got around to doing it because like everything was coming out for the Switch, and I just didn't have time for the Wii U anymore. I'm so sorry, Wii U. um, I like physically turned my chair and bet my gamepad. uh, so yeah, I'm glad this game is going to have the ability to spread to a bigger audience because this is really a great game, and I personally think it's much better than Donkey Kong Country Returns, which was already a pretty great game on the Wii. And I don't think the port is going to mean that a true sequel is never going to happen, because I think before Tropical Freeze came out on the Wii U, they got that 3DS port of Donkey Kong Country Returns. So I think this is coming out. The Switch port is coming out this year, and maybe in a year or two we'll get a proper third game. Hopefully, the Gremlins will be back. That's all I can say about that.
Please. Bring back Hyrule 2, please.
Yep. And here is Pinky Garman's response. DK Tropical Freeze is the game I always wanted to play. Now that it's coming to the Switch, I want to play it more. Especially since my favorite character is Funky Kong. It's playable in this one.
So
That's
you
all you have
go.
to say about that.
So you went from high squeaky voice to demonic demon. How many more answers we got? We got like what? 3 more? Oh, I can't wait for these other voices. Oh man.
All right. Next question. What are your thoughts on the World Ends With You and Dark Souls ports?
I was very surprised when World Ends With You was revealed. As soon as I saw the DS Classic thing, I was like, wait, we're gonna get DS games on this system? But it looks really good. Like, you can tell how much work went into porting over a DS game, 2 screens, and they managed to make it work, which is interesting because, you know, there are a lot of Wii U games and, of course, DS games that didn't have 2 screens to focus on, but the studio behind World Ends With You made it work. So I'm interested to see how many other games like that could make it work on the Switch. But World Ends With You, very exciting, a very good game. I've heard lots of good things about it. I haven't played it myself yet, but of course that will change when it comes out. And of course Dark Souls. Everybody and their mother expected Dark Souls to be revealed. Of course it was last, which was pretty cool, because, you know, Nintendo's going to make it a big deal. I think even in Europe, Nintendo's going to be the one that's publishing it, so that's pretty neat. But yeah, Dark Souls coming to the Switch is good, and again, it boasts the good third-party support for the system, which is just gonna allow more third-party support to come in. So yeah, it's very good that Dark Souls is coming, and World Ends With You coming as well. Pretty neat. Hopefully that leads the path to a lot of more DS reimaginings or, you know, things of that nature.
Yep. As for Dark Souls, I personally don't know much about that game, but I can say that this is a great way for the developer to test the waters of how big of an audience they can reach on the Switch. Because Dark Souls is probably one of their bigger IPs, and seeing if people are interested in buying their games on the Switch with that game is a pretty good idea. So maybe when the time comes for them to make the next game in their series, if the port does well, we'll also get the new original game. So hopefully this opens the door for more third-party developers to work on the Switch, because the more the merrier. And The Word Ends With You. I have a fun story about this one. You guys know how much I love Tokyo Mirage Sessions. And the opening shot of that trailer showed Shibuya, I believe that's the name of that area, which is also setting in the Tokyo Mirage Sessions game. So when I saw that, I was so sure they were porting Tokyo Mirage Sessions to the Switch, which is something I've been dying for. And then they showed gameplay of the World Ends With You. So I was so conflicted right there, because I really want Tokyo Mirage Sessions on there. But World Ends With You is a game I've been wanting to play forever. I've just never been able to find a decently priced copy of it because like my GameStop's still charging like $40 for it. So I'm a little upset it's not talking about Assassins, but I'm probably the minority in that.
Yeah, you are.
Wow, rude. You're not supposed to agree with me at this point.
No.
Okay, I love Pancake's response for this one, so I'm just gonna read it in like a normal voice. A DS game getting a Switch port? Nintendo, shut up and take my money.
It's very true, though. Very true.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I'd really love for them to make Chrono Trigger, the DS port, somehow work on the Switch. That'd be really cool. But anyway, moving on. That could probably be a topic for a whole other discussion right there. Just what DS games we want on the Switch.
Add that to the list, future me.
Alright. And the next question. Were there any other games that you wanted to mention?
Quite honestly, I probably should have watched the mini again before we did this discussion, so I don't remember any other games. So no, I think I'll pass.
Alright. The only one I can remember off the top of my head, aside from what we've mentioned, was that fighting game, SNK Heroines, Frenzy Tag Team Battle, whatever it was called.
Oh, from NIS, I think, is the company behind that. NIS America or something. They're pretty much specialized in, like, a lot of fighting games.
Yeah, so that game looks interesting. I'm not sure if it's something that I'd ever make videos for or anything like that, but it does look like a pretty interesting game. And I love how, I don't know how many of you people know noticed this, but they had this one trailer come out a couple of weeks ago, or excuse me, a couple of days ago, whenever this video's coming out, where they had a interesting thumbnail, and people were exploding in the comments like, "Oh my god, Nintendo's making thumbnails like this!" But then, like an hour after the video was posted, they changed the thumbnail for the video.
Oh, it was a suggestive thumbnail? Wow, Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright then. Next, Pancake's response to that was, "It was short and sweet. I feel like..." Is it the... Wait, he didn't answer. He didn't have an answer for that one.
Go yell at him on Twitter. Let's live ask Pancake the answer to that question right now. I am awaiting the DM thing on Twitter, a notification for it. Do it.
Done. That's why my keyboard's messed up properly. Anyway, moving on. And the final question, were your overall thoughts on the Nintendo Direct?
I loved how they responded to all of the chaos of people awaiting a Direct. That Chibi Robo meme is like the greatest thing they've ever posted. Besides that, no, let me finish. It's the greatest thing they've ever posted besides their one mess up where they, the two things. One where I think it was promoting Captain Toad, where they had quote unquote Toad take over the Twitter, and they had like this giant wall of periods, and then at the end was a PNG image of Toad like poking his head out of a wall. That was one great thing. And then there was a thing, I can't remember what, it was just a random Wednesday thing. And they were posting like facts about Wigglers or something. And they, instead of saying Wiggler Wednesday, they used a hashtag Wigger Wednesday. And Twitter just melted down at that. Like, those three things are like the greatest things Nintendo has ever posted. The Chibi Robo on fire meme in response to the Direct, the Toad takeover with that long wall of dots leading to a PNG image of Toad, and when they accidentally put Wigger Wednesday instead of Wiggler Wednesday. Those are the three greatest things Nintendo has ever done. I know that has like really barely anything to do with the Direct except for the Chibi Robo thing, but yeah, the Direct was good, and I loved how they promoted it.
Can you make the thumbnail for this video that Chibi Robo on fire thing?
Okay, I'll future me just add it on screen right now in post.
Alright. So, my overall thoughts were that I find it hilarious that people have been building up rumors for months about a January Direct, expecting it to be like the most grandest thing ever, and then they come out with a Nintendo Direct Mini with the mostly focused on ports. Um, and I'm really surprised that the internet didn't react more negatively towards that, because I was expecting them to be all like, "Oh my god, they were only getting Switch ports. Oh my god, the internet sucks now," or something like that. But it seems to be I gotten a pretty positive response, and I'm glad that my chair squeaking. I'm glad that we actually did get a January Direct, because that would have sucked if people have been building up rumors for months and then nothing happened, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, Nintendo's doomed."
I think what they should have done, obviously everybody's grateful for the Direct, but if Nintendo wanted to troll so badly, they should have just posted the Chibi Robo image and then waited until a month later, which is pretty much already happened real life, and by the time this video goes up, then a month later post the same image again, then in March post the same image again, then in April post it again, and then in May post it again, and then go all out at E3, and that would be like their only thing they do this year. Just announce everything at E3, and then be silent for the rest of the year.
Oh dear god. Could you imagine that? That'd be horrible.
It'd be even better if they posted the image every single day, but I think just once a month would be fine.
Yep. Alright, and here is Pancake's response that I accidentally started reading a moment ago. "It was short and sweet. I feel like Nintendo's doing a good job showing off things in a short amount of time. Parentheses, E3 2017 for Nintendo was also short and just year." He misspelled stuff. Brandon hacked into his Twitter.
Now you have two people who are gonna hate you after this video.
Nintendo should keep doing mini directs and hold off on doing longer Nintendo directs for a while. I kind of agree with him, but I also prefer like regular Nintendo directs over the mini ones.
I think actually that's a pretty cool idea though. Like every single month they do a mini direct that's like however long this one. I think it was 11 minutes. Just do mini directs every month, except for obviously like E3. Like if they did mini directs every single month except for June for E3, that'd be like pretty cool. But that obviously depends on how much they announce and everything like that. So
yeah, like they could do like a monthly mini direct to show what's coming out within the next month or so, and save the bigger ones for like when the time of Game Developer Conference or Tokyo Game Show would usually happen, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. I just hope they don't do like what they did when the Wii U was first came out, where they had like a Nintendo Direct like so often, but most of the games that they showed off didn't come out for like years, because they had like one Direct where they first demonstrated Yoshi's Woolly World, Xenoblade X, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions years before they were even released.
Yeah, they were pretty bad with like the whole Wii U era was like a big mistake.
Oh, there, Wii U. You still have Earthbound. Until that comes out for the Switch, in which case I'm throwing you out.
I mean, yeah, if they like take all of the virtual console stuff on the Wii U and put it on the Switch, I think everybody would get rid of their Wii U.
Alright, so I think that's a good place to call it here. So, you have anything else you want to
say? Sorry that the discussion took so long. That's really it. I think this probably isn't going up until after 3D World Versus is done, so yeah, sorry. It'll be like a month and a half since the Direct happened.
Yeah, watch. We're gonna upload this video,
and there will be another Direct.
Yes. Oh dear God.
And then it'll take
Well,
another month and a half for that discussion.
And then E3 happens.
And then it'll take 5 years to do a discussion for that.
It's like we open that video with, "Hey, do you guys remember all those games that were announced 5 years ago that are already out? Let's talk about those. All right? It's not too late." Oh, okay. Bye, everybody.
Oh, that's it? That's the only outro? Well, let's get out of here. Hey, Pancake's not here but he's not here in person, but he can be here in spirit by stealing his outro.
Okay, so how's this outro usually go? We'll say it in unison.
I actually, all I remember is the let's get it. I've been Pancake Armor Man. Like this video, share it with your friends, comment, subscribe, and let's get out of here.
Yeah.